Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Hey guys, it's Marie-Ève. How are you doing? Welcome to It's Me Time podcast with Marie-Ève. And yes, you just saw me use one of these things, one of these babies. I am back from Hollywood and in action, right? We are starting. Oh my God, this is a souvenir I got like at the store there. I love to buy souvenirs when I go on trips. And yeah, I had to have one. I have a little magnet at home on my fridge from like 3 years ago when I went to visit like the airport. But yeah, so I'm like, oh, this is so good. We can play with it, like just to pretend, right? We want to be in the energy of like, it's done. I'm becoming an actress. Everything is happening. My kids too. Clap, clap. All is fun. And I am live on TikTok as well. So here I'm not live for you guys. One day I'll be live, but I do enjoy that right now. I'm going to mostly record a bunch of podcasts for you guys today. So yeah, I will do my half hours every half hour, but I don't know how many I'm gonna do. I got so much to talk, and I can't wait a week between every show before I send you more. So this is the beauty of me not being live, is I'm not stuck in time. I am free to talk and do as many as I want and give you the information that you guys most likely will benefit you. So I am Marie-Ève Mongrain. I'm a mindset and self-love life coach. And my website, if you choose to go and visit it, is marievemongrain.com, MARIEVEMONGRAIN.com. I am available on Instagram and TikTok at the same handle, which is at MaryMongrain90, MARIEMONGRAIN90. I'm on Facebook too, but I don't really use Facebook. This is more like the personal, like people like I go on groups. But if you happen to work with me, you will go in a group at one point. So on this, oh my God, you guys, I just came back from Los Angeles 2 days ago. It was an amazing trip. It was fantastic. So I'm manifesting moving there. And it was good that I go visit there because I got to do so many things. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely, it was like heaven on earth. Oh, literally, it was. We were outside so much. There was no bug. I could be outside at 9 o'clock at the pool and not have mosquitoes bite me. And there was like no bugs. I don't know for you guys where you're from, but here in Quebec, in Montreal and where I used to live, if it's night and there's light outside, you can see all the moths and all the bugs around the light. Yeah, not in LA. I think I saw like maybe 4 bugs total. I saw 1 bee. I saved 1 bee in the pool. There was a tiny little fly, like super tiny. Oh, there was one of those, I don't know, it was a kind of a beetle on the boat. But like, I asked the lady, I'm like, am I supposed to be afraid of these? Are they going to bite me and hurt me? And she was like, no, they're blind. They have no idea where they're going. They're just dumb bugs. And it's just, no, I don't like them. I'm like, okay, good. As long as I'm not afraid for my life, I'm good. So it was amazing. The weather was just fantastic. Sunny, and more sunny. It was fantastic. Lots of amazing things happened. And I want to share with you my story. And, I did have a lot of breakthroughs along the way because even though I had a good time at night, I would go in my shower and cry. But that's all those breakthroughs and all those releasing of old stories and just the healing. It shows that it's okay to have a good time and have fun, but it's also like I also allow myself to have moments where I cry, right? And it's not crying. There was a lot of crying because of gratitude. But there was a lot of crying because I'm like, oh, this is coming in. I feel so loved. And then that would bring me to a different place of like, oh my God, I don't have this, right? So it changed. There was a lot of going back and forth, but there was a lot of healing, changing perspective on different things. And it was amazing. So let's start this trip with you guys. Well, right off the bat, the first day we were on our flight, we manifested that we were leaving 2 hours later. So our flight actually was delayed 2 hours. They were trying to get 2 people off the plane because they had overbooked. And we need 2 people who don't have a suitcase under the plane because I most likely would have taken it because they were offering $1,400 for those people, right? If you're not in a hurry, this, like, honestly, if we go with the mindset of like everything, with the perspective of everything happens for a reason and it's the universe giving you something, right? I once gave up my seat for me and my girls. I said, oh, I can, they didn't ask for it, but I'm like, no, I guess I can give my seat to someone if anything happens. I did not get money for it. So yeah, if you have the chance, if you're not in a hurry and you can get $1,400 and have your next car and like the next plane and the next, they offer you the hotel and all, I'll take it. That's the universe giving you free money, right? Especially if you're not like, if you make money out of this, yeah, do it. And so anyway, so doesn't matter. We were not for 2 hours in the plane, but it took them such a long time to find 2 people who were willing to give up their seat. Anyway, so originally I was supposed to leave at 6. My flight was supposed to leave at 6. Then a week prior, it said, oh, we're going to leave at 8. All right, we're leaving at 8. Then we were leaving actually we left at 9:50 or at 10 o'clock and Eastern time. But when I arrived and I was like, oh, because I did rent a car, right? I had rented a car at the airport and I was like trying to call them from Montreal saying, hi, supposed to pick up my car at 10:50. I'm going to be late or our plane is delayed. Nobody was answering the call. And I was trying, like, said, your flight is delayed. I'm like, yeah, my flight is delayed. Press on the button. Nobody answered. I called, like, even I was in the plane, we were like starting to move. And then even the stewardess, like, your phone is? I'm like, yeah, my phone is off. Okay, thank you. I was getting nervous about this. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because that rental agency was not 24 hour. Oh, no, it was not 24 hour. If you rent a car, please get yourself one that's 24/7. Anyway, they were supposed to close at 12. I think 12 or 1 o'clock or 12:30 was their last, like, was the time on the schedule. And then they reopened at 5. Anyway, so we arrived, like we were arriving, and then the flight showed, oh, we're going to get there at 11:50. I'm like, sweet, I'll be able to call them, contact them to say, yeah, I'm on my way, right? We were out of the flight, and I tried to call them once we were able to call. I think it was 11:50 when I called. And I was like, still in the plane. Oh, our office is closed. Like, you can't talk to us until like 5 in the morning, but up to 5 because we're low on staff. At 5 o'clock, this is when like our call center is stops. I was like, what the heck? What? I was like in my blanket. It was like midnight, and I was freaking angry at this. And I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And so by the time we were out having all our luggage, it was 1:11. I think it was 1:11. And I was able to be where the bus, where the shuttle is. And then there's a shuttle coming in. I'm like, I'm going at the Fox rental. Can you guys bring us there? Or do you know when we can get there? They're like, oh, they're closed right now. They closed about half an hour ago. But they're going to open tomorrow at 5. But you're welcome to come and stay at the Enterprise Alamo building. We have couches unless you want to sleep at the airport on the floor, right? And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? I was not impressed with that. And I was like, I started crying. Like, I had a hotel room in Anaheim, which was 45 minutes away from the airport. That was already, I mean, you can't cancel, it's midnight. And, you have until 5 o'clock to cancel anyway, without any penalties. And I was like, I want to go sleep in my room. Anyway, so I'm like, well, maybe we'll just go sleep at the car rental, like on the couch. I was going to be cheap. And then I got there. I'm like, you know what? That car is not prepaid. And yes, I'd prepaid once. This is why I was so stuck on this company, because I'd paid once. I made a mistake. I prepaid my car. It was like $500 or $600. And it was non-refundable. But when I look at my email, the email said Burbank Airport, not LAX Airport. I was so upset about that one. I was so upset. And it says non-refundable. So I called them. I said, I just made a mistake. I shouldn't have to pay for a mistake, right? They said, well, we're going to rebook you right now for another car. And you have to contact the company, blah, blah. And for me to be reimbursed, I needed to get the car. Like, yeah, we're going to do it, but you just need to get the car. Anyway, so, and I was like, are you kidding me? I did everything that was in my power to tell them to hold on for me, right? I did everything I could. Not my fault. My plane got delayed pretty much 4 hours since the time of my booking, right? Like, anyway, so it was very upsetting. And in the end, I said, you know what? It was 1:50. By the time we got at the car rental place, it was like maybe 2:00. I'm like, I'm not gonna sleep for 3 hours at the airport on a couch. I have a hotel room with a nice bed that's waiting for me that I already paid. I'm getting there. So instead of paying like $600 for my car, I canceled the other order and I got a new car at this company that's 24/7. So yeah, my tale here, get yourself a company that's 24/7, because that way you can arrive at 3 a.m. and you can still get your car. And the ladies were so helpful, man. The bus driver was super helpful. The bus driver even helped me put my suitcase on the bus. Oh. I even had a man who helped me with my suitcase, because at the airport, my cart, if you go on my Instagram, you can see all the I had 2 big suitcases, right? And I had 3 carry-on, 1 for each of us, 2 car seats, and my purse. It was a lot of baggage. I'm not gonna kid you. And we're trying to go outside. There's bumpy, things fell off of the cart twice. And I have a man who helped me put it back on, push the cart to cross the road. Anyway, but that night I felt so blessed that people were super helpful. One lady, she helped me with the girls, and it was just wonderful, wonderful. So I said, this is where the mindset comes. If I am in the lack mindset, saying I'm going to be cheap, I'm going to sleep at the airport, I said, no. I deserve to go back in my hotel and sleep on a nice, comfy bed. I deserve to have a car tonight. I'm not a student anymore, right? I'm not a student anymore. I'm not going to sleep on the floor of an airport anymore. I'm going to go sleep at the hotel. And so I paid the extra $1,000. So instead of $600, I paid $1,600 for a car. I said, if I go with the mindset that I'm abundant, why would I worry for $1,000? There are people who buy $10,000 bottle of champagne, which is my goal at one point. I don't drink champagne, but my goal is to be able to just say, hey, let me spend $10,000 on this bottle of champagne as a present for you, right? Like, that would be fun. That would be fun. So if I spend $1,000 on a car rental extra, that's nothing, right? If you go with the mindset of a millionaire, a multimillionaire, that's nothing. Like, I eat that for breakfast, right? Just why are we even discussing if we're taking the car or not for $1,000, right? That's kind of the mindset I went with. So I'm like, I'm abundant. Let's just do it. So things worked out and I got my car. We were at the hotel for one night, and then we were at the same hotel, but we had to change room the next day. And so we pack our stuff, we get downstairs. We arrive at the hotel at like 5:30. Anyway, so we get downstairs the next morning, and then she gives us a new room for the full 10 days, which was a room right beside the room we had. Like, we're on the 10th floor, packed everything, all our suitcases, just to go back one room beside us. But it was okay, it was good. They couldn't give me that same room for the same price. Anyway, I don't dwell on this. I'm trying not to. So that was my little experience going there. But that was my first experience of like, oh, let's play out the mindset game here, right? Because the situation like is neutral. I have a choice. Do I get upset? Do I cry? Or do I make the most of it, right? I did cry a little bit. I was very upset. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I doing? But that's because when we're like, what are we going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab another car, right? But I was not allowing myself to go there yet. So once you're abundant, the mindset is, of course, I'll get the new car. Honey, baby, really? That's out of the question, right? You don't even have to think about it. This is just how it is, right? But when you're used to having to come up with ideas and solution because the money wasn't there, right? You're trying to be creative. Well, I guess we can sleep on the couch. I guess we can sleep there, right? Oh, we do have this, is good. Like, oh, trying to make it fit when just the money's like, hey, here, it's all good. I know, but for all of you who are not yet in the financial abundance, it is hard. I have money and I still, right? I have more money than a lot of people. And I still have a hard time spending the extra money for me. Like, I'm like, okay, is it worth it? I'm going to lose that much money on the room. I'm losing this much money there. Is it worth it? The question was, am I worth it? It's not, is it worth it to lose that? It's, am I worth it? The relationship I'm looking for, I want a man and say, baby, you're worth it of all of it, right? The universe says, oh my God, you're so worthy of all of the abundance in the planet. You're worthy of luxury. You're worthy of having a nice room, not sleeping on the floor, unless that's the experience you want to have. But you're worthy. So I had to tell myself that I was worthy of spending that extra money on myself and my comfort. So even if you have the money, right? Some people will win the lottery. Some people will get big inheritance, just like I did. But if you don't feel worthy, you're afraid of spending that money. You think this is the only time you're going to get money. So you're like, I can't spend it. I can't spend it. Because for me, for a long time, it's like, I can't spend it. I don't know how else I'm going to make the money, right? I've been a coach for 3 years. I still don't have clients. I got the billboard. I got the podcast. I got all of this. I'm doing things. Do I have clients? I don't have anyone. I had like a couple thousand people who visited my website. I got a thing on. So thank you for everyone who visited my website. Nobody has contacted me to have a coaching session or anything. So it's like, whatever, right? I'm at the point like, I'm not done anyway. I'm into acting. So this is for the fun on the side, but it was like, now I'm doing this because it's fun, right? I'm doing the podcast because it's like a show for me. This is just like practicing my skills of talking about whatever comes to mind and just being comfortable with you guys and sharing my knowledge and my story. Because I know it helps people. I know my examples and my experiences, they help you. And by the way, I just discovered that 34,000 people, I think I told you last time, but 34,000 people had downloaded my podcast. So for me, this is a success, right? As a coach, I could say, oh, my business is definitely a failure because I have no clients. But if I go with on the entertainment side of this is my show that I'm producing, I still have 34,000 people who listen to my podcast. So I want to say thank you to all of you guys because that was a very nice surprise. It was unexpected. And I'm learning to say unexpected is a good thing, right? Like, oh man, that bill was unexpected. But I want to be able to say, man, that money was unexpected. That opportunity was unexpected, right? I'm changing my brain, the unexpectedness of the word, what it means. Anyway, so thank you so much for listening to my podcast, wherever you're listening on any platform. I don't know which one you are, but feel free to reach out and just let me know your comments, how it has helped you or how it's helping you, what changed in your life since you listened to me, how you've seen the world differently. I really enjoy listening to all of these. But anyway, now let's keep going. So we were in Anaheim so I was in Los Angeles for 2 weeks and we were in Anaheim for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days. And my girls were doing this competition that's called iPop. And I know a lot of people that went there. Anyway, a couple of people I talked to, they're like, oh my God, it's a scam. They just want your money. Personally, well, now that I'm in the abundance mindset, everything costs money, of course. You want the video of your kid doing their monologue and doing their runway show? It has a cost, obviously. You want to have the red carpet pictures? It has a cost. You want to get more coaching? It has a cost, right? To get in the competition, it had a cost. But the event was so huge. It was humongous. It was amazing. They had really good organization there. It was pretty impressive. I used to plan events at one point, and that was just mind-blowing. So we were told we needed to have 100 headshots for the girls with their resume stapled in the four corners. And I had two girls going in, right? So and now I'm like, yes, thank you. Before, my suitcases, I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit. My suitcases were like 48 pounds each, I believe. And so I was stressed out because the printing company was in LA, and they were like, we were supposed to have it ordered by like mid-June. I got everything ordered like a couple weeks after, like just before July. And I was like, man, like I still not received them. And I'm like, well, I guess like it was a couple of days before. It's like, well, do you want us to send them to you in Canada, or do you want us to send it to your hotel room? I said, well, I'll just send them to my hotel room. It'll be better. Right. I mean, at the time, like we're running short in time. And when I was on the plane, my suitcases, like they were full. Like I couldn't add much more in it. Everything was well packed. And I was like, oh my God. It was the best thing that the delays happened that way, because I don't have to carry 400 headshots, 400 resumes, and 200 headshots, 200 resumes, and 200 com card. If I had two big boxes, it would have taken two little suitcases just to get that. So instead of like paying money to send them to me and then me bringing them back and most likely paying extra at the airport, it just got the hotel. I'm like, here, I'm just picking up my order. Thank you. I was like, oh my God, the timing of me receiving, like we were supposed to have everything ordered by like June 15. Everything was done the week before I was leaving. And I was stressing out. I was getting a little angry. They didn't have my stuff. Oh my God, I was like, ah. But when you look at the whole picture of the after, I'm like, how amazing was this? If it would have been earlier, I would have paid for the shipping to come home, right? And then I would have had to put this in my suitcases. It would have been super heavy. So I was able to say, oh my God, thank you. How perfect was that? Those delays were meant to happen that way, so I didn't have to bring them home. I didn't want to have to do the stapling, at the hotel, but it was perfect because I was able to do it the next day. I had so much free time. Like we still had a busy schedule, but we still had a lot of free time that I was able to do that. So it was amazing. And then we had to write, so I stapled the four corners, like headshots to the resume of my girls. And then we write the number, like they all had a participant number. And I'm writing the numbers on 200 copies. And I did a live on TikTok. I'm like, hey, since I'm here, may as well go and chat with my people. My girls were on their tablet. And I was just like talking to people, writing my stuff and saying, oh yeah, how you doing, guys? Hi. And the next day, also we actually went to Disney for just the evening. But anyway, the next day, they didn't have our badge number. They didn't have our badge. And even the badge number for my girl was the wrong person on it. I was like, well, this is not me or my daughter. And so we were told that our number changed. So Tuesday morning, I was giving the new numbers that I had to rewrite on all copies again. So I had to scratch all the numbers I'd written and change the numbers. That took me an hour. I was not too impressed with that. It was not too pleasant, honestly. But anyway, so I did the live. I'm like, you know what? Good thing. I'm happy I didn't sign up my girls for dance and singing. They were just in acting and modeling. And I'm super happy I didn't sign them up in anything else, because that would have been crazy. Like we had so much time. So in the morning, they would do like, everything was like very organized in the morning, most likely a couple things here and there in the afternoon. But we had time to go sit back for an hour or two at the room in the afternoon, go to the coaching, and then have another couple hours. And right, like we had time to do a lot of things. And even on the Monday, they had an audition for the showcase, which was the show on Friday. They were on the runway, they did their thing. Hi, it was awesome. Like it was our first time. And it was a huge runway with all the seats. And that must have been like, everybody could fit in there. So it was at least 1,000 people. that were there, but not the first night. Anyway, so they go, like they did their thing. It was our first time on stage. So I'm like, oh, great. Then that way, you got a little practice before the competition, right? Anyway, so they had fun. They didn't get in on the showcase, and that's okay because the showcase ended late. And that means I was like, well, if they get in, they get to do the show. If they don't, we get to swim every night, because those who were in the showcase, they had a practice from like 6 to 9 every night. After a full day, they still had practice. And I'm like, well, actually, there's a dance party on Thursday that would be fun to attend. We get to go to the pool every night. It actually ended very well. That didn't get picked for the showcase. I don't care. They're still just kids. I don't need to push them to do everything at once, right? No, we're good. Anyway, so that was my little purpose with the number change. I'm like, oh, you know what? That number might need something better. Maybe that one judge would say, oh my God, this is my favorite number. I mean, the kid too, like, it's their energy, but it doesn't matter. I'm like, it's happening because I have free time. If I didn't have free time, I would not have a change in number, right? Anyway. One thing that happened, like they had one monologue, a 45-second monologue they had rehearsed, 2 commercials, and 1 sitcom that they had practiced. And so what was funny is, and I'm so proud of my girls, they both did super well. They did not win any prizes or anything. We were there mostly for the fun, and the goal is to have an agent at the end, right? It's great to have the accomplishment, but the whole goal was for us to practice, to get there, get on stage, do it, like for them to do it, gain confidence. And they did. Like, they went on stage on the runway, I think 3 or 4 times. And by the end, they were a lot better. Like, they were a lot more comfortable. My goal was for them to be comfortable. I didn't care about the other kids. Yes, it's a competition, but the competition is you within you against you. The first time, she's like, she was a little shy. Then at the end, she's like, right? Not as exciting as the other kids who've been doing it. Like, they're super comfy. They're like, yeah, like, this is not my kids yet. But for who they are and where they were, the growth was humongous. And one thing that was funny is when I was there, like, because there were some shooting that were behind closed door, like I couldn't be there, just them and the camera. And so I asked my daughter, Sophie, how it went. I think it was our sitcom. And she's like, well, no, it was not our sitcom. It was one of the commercial. And she's like, well, it went well. I forgot half of my lines, but you were saying, or I don't remember if she said, if I were saying, if you forget something, just pretend like you don't know, right? Just pretend that everything is okay and keep going. And she said, that's what I did. I pretended like as if nothing was wrong and just kept going. So I'm pretty proud. So like, even if she forgot half her lines, she just kept everything she did. She forgot and went with what she remembered. And I was like, oh my God, this is so good. I was so proud of her for that. She just kept going. But when I was there present, in the room with them, they did so well. But when I was not present in the room, that's when they had a couple mistakes. And I'm like, but that's okay. I'm like, my energy was bringing that in them. And so it's so good. I was so happy to see how they managed without me and with me. And one of the thing was for their monologue. At first I said, no, it's closed door, nobody's coming in, which we were supposed to be able to go in. And like, no, nobody's coming in. And then at one point they were letting people in. Sophie, my oldest daughter, she was done. She came back out. I'm like, oh, how did it go? Oh, shit, I forgot a couple of things, but you know what? It was good. And then I was able to be there for my youngest daughters, right? Which she did super amazing. So the universe brings me when it's super amazing, but was not bringing me for my other daughter. So either she has the belief I'm not there for. I don't know what the belief is, but I was like, this is not fair. I wanted to be there for her too. But maybe there's a part of her that just wants to be autonomous, that she doesn't need mommy, right? So I don't know. I'm seeing it as it's good. I'm trying to see it as it's good. I'm like, funny how with her, in her vibration, we were not a match. I was not a match to see her, but I was a match to see the other one, right? Anyway, so I'm like, well, I'm working on this here. Why did I was able to see her and not her? Because it's all about vibration, right? Anyway, so I thought that was a very interesting thing to see. But they did both super amazing. I'm super proud of them. And I'll keep talking a little bit more, but not a little bit more, a lot more about my trip on the next show. And so now this is the end of this first half hour. It was a pleasure having you here. And I will be back very soon. Very soon. Just check my next post. And so thank you. If you want to know more about me, go on Instagram and TikTok at MaryMongrain90. And also my website, Marie-Ève.com. On there, you have coaching, you have seminars about love attraction. You also have my details for to be a speaker at your events with your group. I can coach your group on like love attraction and how to create our reality. So it was a pleasure, you guys, and I will see you next time. Ciao. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.